Good evening, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Bedtime Show. We are your hosts, Ben and Ethan, and we have got some exciting tech news for you here at Bedtime. To start out, why don't we go into the new Meta Ray-Ban displays and Meta's
Meta.
recent announcement? I think, Ben, you're probably the more resident expert on this than I am, so I'll let you take it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm necessarily an expert, but it is something that I was looking at. I was actually pretty intrigued by. So Meta came out with two things that I'm actually kind of excited for, and maybe not excited for, but two things that caught my eye that I thought was really interesting. So first and foremost, their flagship, or maybe not flagship, but their iconic release that they had a lot of hype around was their display smart glasses. And these are Ray-Ban Meta display smart glasses. And essentially, they're taking what everyone wanted with like Google Glass or Apple's what is Apple's product?
Oh,
Their eyewear,
oh, is there is it, are you talking about their
their
um
goggles.
yeah, their goggles. What? Their Oh, wow. Now I'm
We're
blanking.
blanking. We're all Vision Pros.
Vision
That's what it is.
Pros, which are
Yeah, Vision Pros.
yeah.
So essentially, Meta took their VR and the Vision Pros and like what Google Glass had back in the day, and then they're putting it into essentially what your frames look like.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit chunkier and a little bit thicker, but dude, they're pretty sweet. And it shows like a heads-up display
Hmm.
on the glass, and there's like a wristband that you have to control it and stuff. Um, I think it's cool, but I also think it's kind of like this might be a hot take. I think it's like uh a step back in social interaction. And I say that for I can explain why, but um it's kind of like it was pretty cool seeing the live demo they had was Zuckerberg was in his trailer and he walked to the stage from his trailer, and the screen at the conference on the stage was showing him walking over through his glasses. So he's like live streaming through his glasses, but then it shows all the features that like he was looking at and stuff like that, and it's pretty crazy. Some cool features that they highlighted. In-lens display, obviously the on glass display. So it has Meta AI integration. So in the on the go suggestions, object identification, real-time translation. So that's pretty cool stuff. Similar to like the glasses you have, Ethan, hands-free capture. Although I don't know how long you can record for. I still think it's the same, like 3 minutes or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
I'm not I'm not sure myself, but with how small they are, I wouldn't imagine it be very long.
yeah, yeah. I think it's the same. Um, so you can see like messages and all the different features of like your phone and stuff like that, which again, I think is cool from a tech and innovation perspective. But personally, I think it's a step backwards in social interaction. Um, there's more to it than that from my perspective. The second thing that they released, which I think is more practical, is they partnered with Oakley to essentially take the glasses you have, the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, we'll call
Yeah.
them, and then they applied them to Oakley Sport athletic glasses, and they look really good. And the camera's in the middle, and so it's not like on the sides, but it's in the middle, and they actually look really good. If I were to buy a product from them, it would probably be those. Um, well, I wouldn't mind getting the ones you have and or the Oakley ones. But the Oakley ones are definitely more athletic focused. But they look really good.
Yeah,
So
the Oakley ones look really sleek.
yeah, very sleek, very
And
sleek.
and I was
So
thinking because like I'm a huge fan of Oakley glasses, and I was thinking like,
mhm.
ooh, I may need to be getting another pair of Oakleys here.
Yeah.
which is terrible because they're super expensive. But
Yeah, they're a lot more expensive than the current standard Meta Ray-Ban glasses. I think those ones I think run for 399 and the Oakley ones I think are 799. Let me see on that.
looking right now, I like you can get a pair for 479. I mean,
Oh, nice. Okay, that's not as bad as
yeah,
I thought then. Yeah, so they
still,
partner with Oakley. Oh, so they have the traditional they have like
yeah,
traditional
they got
Oakley styles or
yeah,
like
they've got the
cleaner.
Vanguard or the HSTN.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Um So that's pretty cool. The Vanguard is the one that I was talking about, which is more athletic.
yeah,
And so those look at yeah, so they're starting at 499. That's great. Um, but it's pretty cool. I think innovation is great to see. I love seeing what like we dream of in the future coming to reality and actually happening. And I think this is one of those moments. We've had prototypes in the past, we've had betas in the past, we've had glimpses of what it would look like, but like doesn't wasn't really practical. And I think now this is actually something that I think will stick and stay, and it will actually be adopted in regular daily life. And that's exciting to see, like I said, for the innovation aspect. Socially, I don't think it'll be beneficial. What are your thoughts on this?
yeah. I agree with you. I think like from a technological standpoint, this is really cool. I love the fact that we're getting closer to that augmented reality type of glasses.
Yeah.
Especially because of like last year they really hinted at that. And I thought they were really cool, but the only downside is they were really thick. They looked like
Yeah.
look just like monocles
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought that was cool. And I mean that was what I that like that technology is what I really wanted in the Meta Ray Bans itself anyway. And now that like with this next generation of glasses, you have that display, you kind of have that closer to augmented reality functionality, I think is super cool. Because I think that's like one of the downfall of like the Meta Ray Bans as they are now is yeah, you've got some AI features, you've got some smart assistant features, really cool. Got a voice inside your ear, but that's really all it is. That it's hard to get. You just get auditory feedback, and it'd be nice to have auditory feedback with some visual feedback as well, which I think this new generation is coming to.
Yeah, I agree.
I wish they were still a little bit smaller and sleeker, but I understand why they're not because they're packing a lot of tech into such a small form factor. So I think,
Yeah.
as time goes on, this form factor will get smaller into kind of how sunglasses are now or regular um, glasses for vision art. But as of right now, I think this is really cool step in the right direction. As far as
100%.
as
Yeah.
far as socially, it's
Hmm.
probably definitely not. But I think all technology is probably not great for being social anyway.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think, in any social interaction, as we bring technology in there, it brings some benefit, but it also comes at a cost of certain things.
Yeah.
Like for instance, I mean, this technology of having a Zoom meeting. I mean, it's great that you and I get to talk as if we're in the same room, but it's still at the cost of something. Like it's at the cost of us actually being present in the same room and being able to have this type of conversation. So I guess depending on where you are, it's what what aspects of the social interaction are you willing to give up in order for this convenience?
Yeah, that's very true. I think you're right. Like it's give and take. I will say though, um, one of the negatives that I've had about like my Apple Watch is, and someone made the comment to me who is more a traditional watch person, and someone made the comment to me of like, you're essentially wearing just a notification alarm or a notification sensor on your arm. Because really, at the end of the day, like I look at it and like I'll look at messages here and there, but it's like I'm getting emails and notifications and updates and texts and reminders and all these different things. And I'm just like constantly like, oh, okay, okay. And I'm like getting pinged by my watch left and right. And there are benefits to my watch, like for exercise, it's great. And for, in the moment, like just being notified of current things my wife is doing with, messages that she sends me or other people. Or if I go golfing, I can track my golfing and golf shots and know the distance of where I'm hitting from or like my sleep or whatever it might be. So there's benefits, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, sometimes I'm like, I feel like I'm too connected still and I can never get away. And I think having the glasses with like on on glass display just constantly popping up in my face.
Yeah.
When are they going to start wow, I can't talk. Holy crap. When are they going to start introducing ads, Like
Oh, yeah.
when are they going to start putting like a little ad right here if you're like listening to Amazon Music or, you're listening to or you're on Meta notifications and then the little ad comes up, That's going to start happening, I feel like.
Yeah.
Um, and my last point is I think Meta knows this is going to cause a step back in social interaction because one of the features they put in there was a distraction free mode where you turn it on and it like turns off everything and then helps you focus on the person you're talking to. And the video they showed to advertise for it was like a guy was talking to his buddy out in public and there was like a dog barking and then like a lady talking over her lunch and cars honking by, and he literally tells his friend, he's like, hold on one sec, let me put on distraction free mode. And he like clicks a button on the side of the glasses and then it goes into like distraction free mode. And I think there's some like almost like a noise canceling. I don't know if this is an actual feature, but it seemed like they were advertising there was like a noise canceling feature.
Mhm.
So it would focus on the person he's talking to, bring in the audio, and then replay the audio through like the ear headphone free audio that it has,
Mhm.
And in my mind, I'm like, if someone did that to me and was like, let me turn on distraction free mode, I'd be like, you can't even have a conversation with me without having to
Right.
turn off like distractions. Like, get out of here, dude. Like, I'm not gonna wait around for you to turn on your distraction free mode.
I
I'm
know.
not talking to you after
I'm just
that.
gonna leave at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that's gonna be a problem. It'd be
Yeah.
like, hey, are you looking at me? Are you paying attention to me? Oh, sorry. No, I was actually reading a message. Like, bye. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So,
I think you bring up some really good points. The part you brought up about the ads, and I think, we are going to come to a point where like this technologies, we are going to have ads, and probably, I'm pretty sure that has already done the calculation. Like we can sell about 40% of the screen before we start causing seizures.
mm,
So, I think they've already thought about this and like, okay, this is like our projected thing we're going to do in the future. And so that's just annoying that it's going to come down to that. Like, hey, now that we've got this, we can put ads on it. 'Cause that's how our phone is. I mean, I'm pretty sure like with ads, 50% of the screen anyway is taken up with these obtrusive ads. Just annoying.
oh, dude, it's so annoying. It's
Yeah.
so annoying.
And there just needs to be a way to get rid of it. So just get rid of the phone. I need to get rid of my phone. But
Sometimes it feels that way for sure.
yeah. And your point about like, being distracted, like as you're walking, trying to have a conversation and then a notification comes up on your display, that to me, that's just going to be a little much. I don't know that I
Yeah.
want that in my life. I mean, it's already distracting if I'm talking to someone and something comes up on my watch and buzzes and notifies me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know that I need that much noise in my life at this point. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
change as
Yeah.
time goes on.
It makes me wonder what is the added benefit that I'm getting from these glasses? Because I'm already getting notified on my phone, on my watch,
Mhm.
and in my car. if something comes through in my car, I'm getting notified,
Yeah.
at least if it's like a text message or a call. And so for me, I'm like, besides the video that it's taking for memory's sake, I don't know the added benefit. And if that's the only thing that really is making a difference, and audio, maybe music or whatever it might be, I can just get the current smart glasses that are out. Like I don't know if I need to,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's the added benefit for me. So,
Yeah. I haven't I haven't figured out the added benefit enough for me to want to go out and get these. I think it'd be really interesting to try them, but
yeah, yeah. 100%. Would love to try them and talk to someone that has them.
yeah, but I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would actually buy it. I know we've got a couple. There's a couple people in our friends group that also have the Meadow Ray Bans, so I wonder if they will be upgrading to the new ones.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have people in our community in our group that will probably purchase these, um, or at least they'll know someone who's purchased them. So it's fun having tech friends.
Yes, it
You
is.
let them be the guinea pigs of new innovation, and then you're like, all right, cool, tell me about it.
Yeah, and that way we can nerd out too, vicariously through them.
Exactly. Yeah. So speaking of nerding out through each other, should we talk about NVIDIA and their
Oh yes.
partnership with OpenAI and how they're just nerding out on GPUs and capital
Oh yeah.
billions of dollars with each other?
So the TLDR for anybody that's living under a rock, NVIDIA has just invested 100 billion, yes, with a B, into OpenAI to help build up their AI innovations, their capital, anything that OpenAI is doing. OpenAI, in order to do that, is going to need data centers. So they are going to be um, using that money to essentially pay data centers to create this AI model that they are generating. Those data centers, such as Oracle, are in need of GPUs. And the only place to get AI GPUs is from NVIDIA. So NVIDIA has created this infinite money glitch where essentially they are plugging one end of um, the outlet surge protector into itself and having unlimited power. My turn. So
Yeah, that's
it,
crazy.
it's crazy. I think this is really cool. I mean, the great thing about this is that it's all shareholders of every company are enjoying this and they're loving it. Their stock price is shooting up everywhere. It's just it seems like it can't go anywhere but up at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're essentially hedging themselves against like dips in the market because they're like, hey, we're feeding you capital so that you can invest in your infrastructure and we become a part of that infrastructure.
Mhm.
So we're just essentially getting that capital back and then we're going to reinvest it back into you, building more infrastructure. And I think the only downfall, which I don't think will ever happen, is if people stop using AI, OpenAI, and they don't need to continue to grow their data centers, which I don't see happening at all.
Oh
At
no.
all.
No, I mean, we will drain oceans just to keep these data centers alive at this point.
Oh, 100%. We are laying down the foundation for the future of all technological advances, right? Like if AI is not going to be ignored in any future innovation. It's
Yeah.
always going to be involved. It's always going to be the base foundational layer. And so these data centers are just going to be in insane demand more and more and more.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the only thing that I think could happen is it may slow down slightly. I mean, I know that there's a lot of hype now around AI. It may kind of fizzle out just a little bit, but with how
hmm,
many businesses are shouting from the rooftops that their new solution to anything is using AI, I'm I'm fairly confident that AI is not going anywhere, that it's still going to continue on. no matter where we're at.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be like the dot-com bubble was, um, where it crashed. I mean, it may slow down, and I'm not a professional um, financial advisor by any means, but I don't think that this is going to be very similar to that dot-com bubble. I think this is just going to be something that's going to continue to grow. And with how NVIDIA's like placed themselves in such a great place, uh, and right now, as long as they continue to innovate, as they are, I think they're going to continue to grow, and it's going to be good for the AI boom.
Yeah. One similar, um, a good relation that someone has described it to me as the AI, I don't, like you were saying, I don't think the AI is necessarily going to trend like the dot-com boom. What I think it's more similar to is when we went from on-prem software to cloud-based software,
Oh yeah.
where tons of data centers were being built and everyone was shifting to cloud-based. And new companies were coming in and they were coming in as cloud-based companies and they took over the market. Now, from the and then legacy companies, they had to figure out from their product, how do we go from like a CD ROM install onto your computer to a cloud-based software product that you can download. And then we hold the data in our data centers in our cloud.
Mhm.
And I think that was a hard shift. Now we're in a in a stage where it's not just being in the cloud, it's if you're a legacy cloud-based software company, now you have to think, how do I innovate and bring in AI to be the front runner of my product solution? Because new companies are being made and they're AI based and AI focused. And so there's all this demand shifting from not just data centers for like storing cloud data, but data centers for storing the back end of their AI models. And that is just going to grow more and more. Now, I think the the type of change, that is where those two are similar. But the level of impact, I think, is going to be the same, if not more, as the internet. The
Yeah.
internet completely changed how the world worked. And I think with AI continuing to evolve, I think that's going to have the same level of impact as the internet did, where it's just going to change how we live, you know?
Yeah. I, I agree. Yeah, I don't there there's no going back from this. I think,
Yeah.
this is a train that's moving forward and you're either on it or you're not at this point.
Yeah. It's not like VR where it's like, oh, you can choose to dabble in it if you want and enjoy
Yeah.
it, but it's not like it's overtaking everything. No, this is overtaking everything. Businesses, school, people, daily life. Like if you're not using some form of smart technology, you are so behind the times and you're missing out, like to be honest. So,
Yeah.
unless you
You
want to
know,
live completely off grid and you're totally living off the land, which I don't judge anyone for doing that because I totally understand where there's like peace and comfort in that.
Mhm.
Then you're not missing out. But if you're living normal day to day, the average person, and you're not using AI and smart features, like you're behind.
I know. And, I mean, it's even gotten to the point where it's in vehicles now, so there's almost there's it's almost getting to the point where it's harder to find a device that AI hasn't impacted in some way.
Yeah, that is so true. That is true. That's a really good point. Like that's a really good indicator of cultural shift is when you start to see in your day to day when AI now has it's in more of your day to day than it was prior. Like it's in more than 50% of your interaction with things in your day to day.
Mhm.
And that means like, okay, now it is starting to take over, right?
Yeah. It's like I've been seeing like it pop up in like Wi-Fi routers and vacuums, and I'm like, I don't need these things to have AI. I just need them to work at this point.
Yeah,
I don't need my vacuum to have AI. But
very true. I saw someone have a device that was like a little camera, and then it had the camera was attached. It would like connect to your large language model, your LLM, and then they created an app where it would the camera would look at your kitchen, and then it would send you messages, a communication saying like, Ben, your house is looking like a rat's nest. Go clean the dishes. It was like a reminder to clean the kitchen and stuff. And it would just send you notifications based on what the imagery was taking in, and it would tell you what you needed to do.
oh, that's
I thought it
crazy.
was funny, but I'm like, I don't need someone to remind me to go clean. Like, I know
Yeah.
it's dirty, you know?
Yeah, I know
It's,
it's dirty.
yeah, people are just making AI products for everything, you know?
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I think maybe similar to the Meta glasses, like there's so much benefit. There's so much good that comes from it, but it's give and take. I think there are some things we sacrifice with AI. I think some security, some privacy, um, I think some self-reliance, you know. I think there's going to be a big issue. Right now we have a mental health issue with the younger generation. I think it's only going to get worse. They're like going to treat large language models as like their friends, their mentors, their therapists. They won't be able to
Yeah.
make decisions for themselves, you know?
Well, like I've read studies that have and articles that have been written that um like with survey of people trust their chat GPT more than they trust like a an adult or a therapist because chat GPT is actually providing what they feel is good advice in the moment for what they need.
Yeah. And and I get that. I can totally understand that. And also, I think a lot of people when they give advice, it's very anecdotal.
Mhm.
But with ChatGPT or any large language model, at the back of my head, I'm thinking there's calculations and actual data backing what is being said. It's
Yeah,
not just, well, based on my experience. Well, what is your experience?
right.
You've talked to maybe two people, but ChatGPT is looking at thousands of hundreds of conversations online about this. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, all 8 billion people in the world.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think it'll be a little scary seeing the future. I think on our podcast, I use the word interesting a lot. I'm like, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting. Oh, yeah, it'll be interesting. And I want to avoid use that. I want to use more descriptive words. I think this will be a little scary seeing the future, you know?
Yeah,
Um, so
it will be. And I think, one of I think the only way to kind of like combat that is just making sure that you're grounded, even though like we're in in the middle of this technology, just having some time where we're disconnected and grounded into what
mm,
actual reality is.
yep, 100%. I love that. I love that. Any thoughts or recommendations for anyone listening on how to stay grounded?
Yeah. I the only thing I can think of is like I need to get rid of my phone and I need to get rid of my watch.
I'm with you, dude.
But
Sometimes my watch, especially, I think I touched on that already. I'm like, do I really need this? Um, I'll put my phone in my drawer. Like, I don't know if you can see it. This drawer right here, this top drawer. I'll just put my phone in there because I get so distracted with it and I just need to throw it. This is my work setup right here. So I just throw it in there and I just disconnect.
that's
And
smart.
so, yeah, it's the only way I can not be distracted, which is really sad to say. But like, I have to just throw it in there. And I don't know if you've ever done this, but sometimes I've forgotten my phone when I've gone somewhere and I don't let it like freak me out. I'm just like, well, I guess I'm on my phone. And it's really refreshing.
I, I used to be like that until my phone was required to drive my cars. And so now, and so
That's a
now
fair
it's,
point.
yeah, so now it's like I always know where my phone is and I never go anywhere without it because I won't be able to go anywhere without it,
Yeah,
which
that is
is
a fair point. Yeah. I
which
just
is
got the
great.
test. Yo, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's great, but it's also terrible at the same time because I mean I love the convenience of only having to carry the phone and not having
Mhm.
to have keys, but
Yeah.
it's also terrible because now I never leave home without my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I just got the Model Y, the Tesla Model Y, a used one.
It was finally
And
converted.
I have, even though I was like hesitant about it, 1 foot over the fence, 1 foot on the other side, But now I'm 2 feet over and I jumped over. But I will say I have like my Model Y came with two black cards
Mhm.
that I can use as keys. And right now I use my phone. But with your comment, I'm like, well, maybe I'll just put the key in my wallet and then like use the key to go. But I think you have to tap the key on the car and then
It
put it
is
in a certain spot.
super inconvenient to use those key cards.
Is it really?
Yeah, because you got to tap it, then you got to place it on there, and then you can go. But
Yeah, you have to like place it in like the middle like console
Mhm.
section.
And then
Yeah.
you have to like physically tap it to lock it too. It doesn't just
Yep.
lock when you walk away, which is
Yep.
terrible. So those key cards, they're nice, like if you're in a pinch, but to use it as an actual thing,
Yeah.
terrible.
It's a pain. Yeah. So I'll probably still use my phone, but I don't I've heard of this we're going back to how do you disconnect, right?
Mhm.
I've heard of this where people will have certain days of the week where they just like it's like a no screen day or like Sunday afternoon, it's like a no screen afternoon. I haven't implemented that, but I kind of would like it. Because when we go away on vacation and we're somewhere where we don't have service or we're remote or we're camping, it's really nice just to kind of wind down, read a
Mhm.
book, talk to your family, just kind of sit around the fire, hang out, whatever it might be, and just relax and not have the pressure of like, oh, what does my phone say? Or any notifications or any new likes or any
Right.
emails or whatever it might be. Um, but I do like the idea of like a no screen day or a no screen afternoon or something once a week. Kind of like a screen
Yes.
fast.
Yeah. I think that would be a good idea. I've thought about that a lot. I'm like, I haven't implemented anything like that.
Yeah, neither have I, but I think I should. The other thing that I've heard too for like I was saying, the younger generation, my brother and sister-in-law did this, and I actually really like it. They did not let their kids have phones until they were out of the house.
Oh,
Not until they
really?
were 16,
Wow.
out of the house.
Interesting.
Um, sorry, let me correct that. Smartphones. They didn't have smartphones. And so they didn't have social media until they were out of the house. And their kids are so solid. Like very independent, very mature, can have conversations with adults, no problem. They have their own jobs. And they range from being college level to like freshmen in high school.
Mhm.
And I will say, dude, like I feel it's just given them so much self-confidence, avoidance of like any bad mental health behavior. And I'm not saying like you won't have those things if you stay off your phone because people do, and I totally understand that. But I think the younger generation growing up with smartphones, always comparing, always like being evaluated, bullying online, like growing up with that, I think would be really hard, even more so than what our life was growing up.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. And I I think that's a great idea. I know it's like becoming harder and harder as now like high schools are becoming reliant on students having phones and
Oh
access
yeah,
to that as
interesting.
part of
That's a
like
good point.
curriculum stuff.
Mm,
So, um I I love that idea and I hope that I can do that as my kids get
hmm
to that age. I just don't know how feasible that will be.
That's a really good point. If like their daily life does require them to be on certain smart, uh, smart technology.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, it's if anyone listening has any recommendations or comments or things that's worked for you in balancing all the new technology and the screens and everything, how do you balance it? I would love to hear because I've got kids of my own. I have my own issues with it and would love to just be better about it. So yeah, please
Yeah.
provide recommendations.
Yeah. Please do it. That way our kids don't have to talk about this with their therapist later when they're our age. So,
Exactly. Exactly. So tell me, when did all the mental health issues start? Well, I was addicted to screens. My dad just let me go crazy on the screens.
right.
Yeah, it's not what I want. So
Well, speaking of addictions, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That
yeah,
really
get
does help.
addicted to our podcast.
Yeah, that really does help out our channel. And if you didn't like this episode, that other button seems to work all right as well. Make sure you send this to somebody you dislike. As always, ringling that dingling button so you never miss out on any content as it's posted on the channel. We are posting shorts finally. I know we've been saying this for like over a year, but we're finally doing it.
We're
So
getting there.
we're
We're
getting
getting
there.
there. We're moving up. We're moving
So
on up.
um, make sure you're notified for those. As always, stay classy and have a great evening.
Peace.